починаєш?
У злоті, сам пан у злоті, його чує дочка.
Видали ж йому коника в сідлі.
У злоті, сам пан у злоті.
It's a holiday sound in Ukraine where we hope they're still celebrating. Let's find out right now. Hello, Joseph Lindsley. What's happening today?
Good afternoon from Lviv. Yeah, those are the sounds from the Cafe Fatsetka in the center of the old cobbled streets of the center of Lviv. And those are carolers going around the city a couple days ago. And it's in one of the lyrics in these Christmas songs, there's the words "Tout je," which means here now. It's talking about the birth of Christ and Christmas. But those words resonate for Ukrainians because in those first hours of the full-scale invasion, February 24th, I'm sure most people remember, President Zelensky made a video saying, "I'm here, we're not leaving." And so when people sing those words this Christmas, it's a reminder of everything that's happened since February, but that Ukraine still stands. And as we're in this situation where there have been, in most of the country, there have been no air alarms since Ukrainian Christmas Eve, since last Friday, January 6th. And, as always, when you go through a long space of time without, alerts or air attacks, you wonder what is Russia up to. But there is a lot of activity happening and maybe not a lot of great news happening in the Eastern Front in Donbass. We've talked a lot about that city of Bakhmut, which has been absolutely devastated by Russian shelling. Ukraine still holds that city, but about 10 miles to the north or northeast of Bakhmut is a small town called Soledar. And in recent days, starting on Christmas, when Russia claimed that they were going to have a truce, the Russians, led by their mercenary group called the Wagner Company, have been pushing into this town of Soledar. And it's notable, before the war, it was just about 10,000 people, but it's home to significant salt mines. There is, I think it's about 125 miles of tunnels and some underground chambers as high as 100 feet. And these can be used tactically to infiltrate, to sort of sneak into other areas of the region. So tactically, it's very important. And we don't know exactly what's going on there now. I hear some reports that Russians are on the edge of taking Soledar. I just saw a video from a Ukrainian soldier nearby there saying, if we're holding, but if we had unlimited ammunition, we could have already knocked the Russians back into their rat holes. Meanwhile, I think it was yesterday, former NATO commander, the Brit, General Sir Richard Sheridan, said that Britain should have given tanks to Ukraine months ago. And there is a push now to get tanks from the United States, from Britain, and other countries. But there's a sense that, if, even though, there's been so much good news for Ukraine, but if you give Russia any extra time to maneuver or to plan a further assault, it could put everything at great risk. And so right now there is this sense of that Ukraine needs better, stronger, and newer equipment to fight the war on the ground.
One of Russia's most modern warships, armed with what is described as advanced hypersonic missiles, held exercises in the Norwegian Sea in the last 24 hours. Joseph, how do people there react to news like that, and how do folks find out what's going on? Are they able to?
Well, there's people always are texting each other or following in their private Signal chats or private Telegram chats and these private secure messaging apps to get information from either. I have different groups I follow, whether it's Ukrainians or foreign volunteers. When we look at the case in the North Sea there that you just mentioned, I've also been talking with friends in the Scandinavian countries. Before the pandemic, I always used to go to Sweden every winter to go dog sledding. Usually I was there at this time of year. And so I know a lot of people there. And all my trips to Sweden, even 2 or 3, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, they were concerned about Russia. And they have a nautical border with Russia. And just in the past few days, the King and the Crown Princess of Sweden have been hosting the country's annual defense conference. And for a long time, things were. I mean, Sweden's a very prosperous country. They haven't been in a war since the 1800s, and now the past couple of days, the Swedish government has announced that they are going to have a new conscription of civilians
because they said Ukraine is showing us that we have to prepare our civil defense. So this is a whole new level in Scandinavia of urgency and of concern about what Russia might do.
And as far as television, radio, internet, and getting information, are the people able to do that fairly easily or not?
Yeah, well, I would say, so with television, the main television stations, and this has been a topic of controversy with Ukraine skeptics in the United States, the government sort of took over the main television stations in the beginning of the war. Some of those stations were owned by pro-Russian oligarchs, but most people don't watch TV, especially younger people. And so I would say the chief way for people to get information is this Telegram app, where you could have different. There's some formal news organizations or informal collectives with maybe 80,000 followers. And people sit that's probably, including for me, that's one of the first sources, for example, especially when there are air alarms. You go to the Telegram app and you know who you can trust now after 10 months of the war. And you can say, oh, okay, if this channel on Telegram tells me there's missiles coming toward Lviv, then it's probably accurate. We've been able to, now people can figure out what to trust. So I'd say Telegram is one of the main sources of information. And then through that, it's always people talking with each other. Everyone knows someone, fighting or different parts of the country. But still, it's war. There's a lot of confusion and rumors. And, I've been hearing, especially the past 24 hours, from foreign volunteers. Many of them have been, there've been a lot of people going to Bakhmut. It's very risky to go there. Some of our team has been there. It's dangerous to get there. To the corridors, there's shelling as you approach the city. But many of the foreigners who are here to help go there because that's where the help is most needed. And now there's a lot of concern about what might be happening. If the Russians do take the city of Soledar, it seems that they want to cut Bakhmut off. And so right now, that's sort of the chatter and a big concern among almost everyone here.
A lot of feedback lately, Joseph, I want to share with you. Here's an email that reads this way. Dear Mr. Sirott, I am an artist in Champaign, Illinois, and have created a contemporary icon of President Zelensky. In September, it was unveiled by Ukrainian students from the University of Illinois. If you are able, please send the attached digital image to Joseph Lindsley, along with my deep appreciation for his reporting. I look forward to your conversations with him during the week. Thank you, Patricia Monagold, and it's a very, very well done piece of art depicting President Zelensky. He is holding the Ukrainian flag, flowers in the foreground, and fire in the background, and it says "Glory to Ukraine." And we'll have our producers forward this to you, Joseph.
Oh, amazing! I'd love to see that, and of course. Writing icons or creating icons is a big part of Ukrainian culture. So, I look forward to seeing that.
And a couple more emails and texts for you. Here's one that says, please tell Joseph, all my hope and my heart, we are with him and the Ukrainian people. And then I love this one. Bob, keep your reports with Joseph going longer. Why not the entire 7 o'clock hour? Well, you certainly have enough material for us. I'm sure you could do that, Joseph.
This is a time and place of stories, to say the least. Yeah.
Right. And are you journaling every day?
Yes. This I think is the best journal is these conversations with you and your audience. But yes, I'm writing. There's a whole other level of this, and thinking about the question you asked about how do people get news and information. But, living in a war zone, there's lots of intrigue. There's lots of strange things that happen, things that I can't verify yet, or things that, would be unwise to report. And so, yes, I do keep notes of everything that is happening.
Your book will outsell Prince Harry's. There's no doubt about it. Joseph, let's hope for another period of peace there where you are, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, Bob. Until tomorrow.
Joseph Lindsley, world's most interesting man.
This I find in my garden. It's piece from rocket. help us to win in this city war.